of all, at 19, he was actually able to build and sell a company called Biotech. And at 22 years old, he actually was able to raise $500,000. Hey, Evan Carmichael, how are
It's
you
happening.
doing?
Wow,
It's
look at
so
how
great.
fancy you look.
Oh, do I look fancy?
Look at
Great.
the fancy dress. Wow, I like it. All right,
Thank you.
we're both in
It is
black
a
today.
t-shirt, but
That's a t-shirt
I
with the
it
slit
is a
here in the
t-shirt.
middle.
It is
Wow,
a turtleneck with a slit.
cool. I like it.
Thanks. I appreciate that. I was just letting the audience know what an incredible person that you are. The fact that if you don't know who Evan Carmichael is and you're living under a rock, he built and sold biotech software company at the age of 19. At 22, he became a venture capitalist. He's raised $500,000 to $15 million at 22. That's insane. Forbes named him the top 40 social marketing talents. He's here with us. He also has 200 million subscribers. Oh, I'm sorry, 2
That'd be
2 million
amazing.
subscribers on YouTube.
Let's make that happen, Andrea. Let's make that
Believe.
happen. 200 million. Let's go.
He has 300 million views on YouTube and 2
That's
million
true.
subscribers. So that is still very, very impressive. And definitely, I could definitely see that happen. Gotta believe.
Let's go. Let's go.
Let's go. Evan, I just got to say that my husband and I have been watching your top 10s for years now. When I told my brother and sister that I was going to be interviewing you, they were through the roof. So this is a real honor. I'm so grateful.
Cool. Well, I think we met because you were going live with someone that I follow. I forget who were you going live with? Do you remember?
Yeah. Underdog Books with Mike.
Oh, Underdog Books. Yeah. Okay, so
Yes.
he's great. And you guys were live, and then I followed you after that. I love the discussion. I love the book community. You know, the people in the book community are pretty awesome and super supportive of each other, which is really great to see. Commenting on each other's posts and doing collaborations. And so anyway, super pumped to be here. Love your energy and your vibe, and I'm here. Let's go.
That's great. I love it. Yeah, when I was interviewing Underdog Books, he started like looking around and he was like looking all over the place. He's like trying to find your book. And he says, people keep popping into my IG Live. Now, I couldn't see what he saw. And he had mentioned that you'd popped in, and then after messaged me and said, hey, I just want to let you know, Evan Carmichael popped in and watched this interview. And shortly after, you reached out to me and, you know, just you've been a fantastic person. You said, hey, take a look at my book. I can send you one. You've been super gracious. And I just threw it out there. I'm like, I'm talking to Evan Carmichael. Hey, I do an IG Live interview. Do you want to do it? Woo! And
it's happening.
I got that yes. That was a big milestone for me getting that yes. Have you actually, that's one of the questions that I wanted to ask you.
Okay.
I haven't come across any stories of your first big yes that you may have gotten that kind of was, this was my experience. You're my first big yes. I'll remember this forever.
So before I did my YouTube channel, I had my website, and I had my own content on the website when I was in the venture capital business. And then I was bringing on like business coaches and marketing consultants and people who I knew to contribute content to the website. And I wanted to go a step above and get some bigger names on the site. And the first two people who I reached out to that said yes were Guy Kawasaki and Seth Godin.
Okay.
They were both big bloggers at the time. Seth still is a big blogger. I don't know if Guy's still creating blogs. And Seth I knew through an introduction, and Guy I just wrote to. Wow. And then they both said yes, and they were bigger than anybody I had on my site before. Maybe not like the biggest of the big names, but way bigger than I ever had before. And then I used their names to go get other people, right? To say, well, we already have Seth Godin and Guy Kawasaki. Do you want to join? Like, oh, those guys are part of it. Okay, I'll join. And then we just kept building up to get different people on board. So those two were super. I mean, for them, it was probably not a big deal. It's like, okay, yeah, whatever, this guy, sure. But for me, it was like, oh my God, Seth Godin and Guy Kawasaki said yes. Are you kidding me? I have made it.
Yeah,
this is it. So that was probably the very first big yes on YouTube. Probably the first big one was either getting Tony Robbins to do an interview took 3 years. So that was good. And then when it's always nice when people share their videos. So like 50 Cent, I think was the first big one to share his. We did a top 10 on him, and 50 Cent shared it to his Facebook, to his Twitter, a bunch of places. And I don't know 50 Cent, so I didn't ask him for it. It just kind of happened.
I remember seeing that video actually, that you were talking about how he shared your stuff like all over every single platform he had, and then instead of moving forward with what you had planned that day, you were like, all right, we need to ride this wave. We need to take this opportunity and just get as much as we can from it and ride this wave. It was really incredible.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love it. Thanks for sharing the stories of the first yeses. You're definitely mine. I really appreciate it.
So now, so one of my first mentors used to say, pull sweaters. So you pull sweaters to get to the front of the line. So then you pull on my sweater to go get other people.
Right.
To my name means nothing to many people, but it means something to a few people. And those few people would now give you a shot because I was here, right? So then if you get, there are some people who do a lot more of it than others, right? Like Dave Meltzer is doing tons of, IG lives with people. Jim Quick is doing tons of IG lives with people. He did one today. Like, go get those people, and then you see, they'll recognize my name, and then you see who's now is following all three of us, and then you use their names to get. I don't know who's your dream person to get on your show.
Tony Robbins. I love Tony Robbins.
Well, it took me 3 years to get Tony Robbins.
Yeah.
But you work your way, right? So look at who Tony Robbins follows on Instagram. Right. Who does he follow? And it's probably not him, it's his account, but it still is like people who are in that space. And then your goal should be now to try to get all of the people who he follows to do an interview with you. If they have books, I mean, like, you're trying to keep it within the book world, but yeah. And then you can go to his team and say, hey, we've had this person and him and her and them. It's much easier to get a yes.
Yeah. Speaking of the book community, Instagram has been really welcoming because of the Bookstagram community, but I'm also on YouTube. So I started on YouTube. My full videos are on YouTube, and then I just kind of splice my videos and only do daily challenges here just to kind of keep it short. And the Bookstagram community is great and very welcoming, very inviting, but I feel like, especially after reading this book, I feel that now I'm going to be stepping outside of the Bookstagram community or the book community or the platform of just reading books. Mm-hmm. And so that's been interesting because the Booksters Club is really for me. I started it because I want to gain more truth. I want to kind of piece things together. But, the coaching program that I have kind of boiling up in my mind now and just all the information that I want to start sharing is outside of books. And, I went and I named myself the Booksters Club. And, I'm in the Bookstagram community, and that's where I've gained so much momentum. I'm kind of stuck with, do I lose that momentum? Do I continue moving forward and kind of just see where it leads? Or do I, take that leap forward and say, okay, rebrand, rename, shift everything, and move forward in this new direction that I know aligns with my who a little bit more?
Yeah, I mean, you have to, right? I mean... What are we doing, Andrea? You have to.
Evan Carmichael changes lives. Look, you're not just gonna get no free.
No, but like, but you want to. Now it's just a question of time. It's like, do you wait 5 years to do it until you absolutely hate yourself for not doing it, and then say, oh, I wish I started 5 years ago, or do you just start? I don't even worry about the name yet. I mean, you still like books. It's not you're saying like books suck, I hate them. Right. You still like books. It's a part of you. It's not all of you.
Yeah.
So
I don't know if it's a crutch or not, but I will say that for me the books were I was able to use the information and credibility from someone else, which is what I'm using too. I don't want just a bunch of people's opinions if I don't know them yet. And so that's something that I recognize that I wanted for my audience too. Look, they don't know me. They don't know my message. They don't know the information that I have to share. So they're not going to take me as a credible source. But if I'm able to back my information up with maybe another author that they resonate with already, then maybe they'll hear the other 2 cents, the 2 minutes that I have to talk about.
What do you want to do? You want to coach? What do you want to do?
I do. I want to coach people. That's the thing that I find the one-on-one interactions with people is something that I really want to do.
So you want to coach people to do what?
To find their own truth and to listen to their own truth and to quit believing outside things that maybe they've had as conditioning as children and as young adults, and all of these lies that we kind of believe in, and then to start to understand and recognize truth so that you can kind of come into it, so that when things like, I don't know if I should start this, I don't know if this is something I should be doing, I don't know if this is really my purpose, starts to creep in, that you can start to listen to yourself.
Okay, so
aside
from credibility, where do books fit in for you? Into that process, into the coaching process.
That's where I gain my dots. I connect everything. So I'll read something and think, wow, that either resonates already with what I believe to be true, or it hits home and it'll be stored somewhere within me where I'm like, this is truth. I believe this. And I'll read something else, and just connecting those two things and pondering those two things, I'm able to think of something that, you know, I feel like I'm a thought leader. I feel like this is something new. This is a new way of looking at something. And this is mine now because
do you give people reading after?
A reading after? I don't know.
No, do you give people reading? Like, when you're coaching somebody, do you give them a book list to go and read?
So usually anytime that I'm talking with anybody, the conversation of just suggesting a book to them always comes out, because I'm always using stuff from books. So yeah.
So great. So tie books and reading into the process of coaching, whether that's required reading afterwards, whether that's doing an exercise, like until you get your own exercises,
right?
You take other people's exercises.
Yeah.
Like if you like Built to Serve,
yeah.
right? You like the exercises in there, then you can say, okay, what we're going to do together is go through the Who I How from Evan Carmichael's Built to Serve.
Right.
And you coach people through that. And you don't need to be a Evan Carmichael licensed coach or whatever. You know, you help them through the process. Or you take, maybe you love the Who and you hate the Why How. And so you take the Who from Evan Carmichael and you take this from John Maxwell and this from Brene Brown, and you smush them together. And you can give credit along the way to say, okay, here's my process. We start with this exercise that comes from whoever, right?
Yeah.
But you could start doing that right away.
Yeah.
Like you should, your IG lives shouldn't just be interviews, should be coaching.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
Coaching around books.
Definitely.
Like books are part of it. So how often do you go live on IG?
So I do this every Thursday.
Okay.
I record every Thursday, and then I do an IG live every Thursday.
So you record for what? For YouTube?
So I record every day for you, or I'm sorry, every Thursday for YouTube, and I upload every day. So I do all my recordings in one day, and then I'll go on Instagram and do an IG live here.
And do you already have a coaching business, or is this something you want to get into?
Nope. This is all because of your book.
Oh, great. Okay, perfect.
Yeah,
so
it's in here.
Great. Well, awesome. And again, like, give credit to so that you don't feel like a imposter or phony or whatever. Like, you give credit to the authors. And you can say, hey, I got this idea from Evan Carmichael from reading Built to Serve, and I realized I've also learned thousands of other things from all these other books that I've read, and you're basically compiling it and then giving. You have so much wisdom from all these different people and all these different potentials. You're saving the person the path of reading all those books, and also giving them the direct, like, hey, you should go read Built to Serve because it's going to help you with this, or you should go read whatever, right? You're the filter. You're helping them get the direction. That's a coaching. Like, if you want to make money as a coach, you start coaching. So I do it every weekday, right? So every day at 2:00, I have an Instagram live for 25 minutes.
Got it.
Today I'm doing.
Somebody hop on.
Yeah, and at the beginning, I booked people in advance.
Okay.
Because people didn't know that I was doing. I'm not even a coach. I don't sell coaching. I just love it. You are a coach. I am a coach.
You are a natural coach.
I'm not a natural coach, but I am a coach, and I love it. But I don't want to be. I don't want to sell like a coach with me for 6 months or whatever. But that's what you should do. You should do I would do a lunch with Andrea or whatever, like a daily show for 25 minutes where you're coaching people and you book the people at the beginning, right?
Okay.
Like how many people follow you right now on Instagram? You got like 500 or 600 or yeah,
450,
perfect.
something like that. Yeah.
Awesome. So in that 400, 500, you're going to get people who will say yes
Right.
to a free coaching session with you, and you book them. So what day is today? Friday. You book them Monday. I don't know what time works, lunchtime or 3 o'clock or 8 o'clock or whatever. You book a coaching time where all you do is show up, say, hey, how can I help? And Jill is going to show up and tell you that she's struggling with self-confidence, and you're going to help her, and you're going to pull an idea from, like, what book should I read if I'm struggling with self-confidence?
4 Agreements, for sure.
See, like,
yeah.
You know what you need, Jill? We need to go through the 4 agreements together.
Yeah.
Do you know what they are? What the 4 agreements are? You remember?
So it's never take anything personally. Always do your best, and your word.
Okay, great. Like,
Yeah.
and you can even go, okay, you know what, Jill? Hold on, Jill, hold on. You know what you need? You need the 4 agreements, and you're gonna load up the thing, and you're gonna pull up the 4 agreements, not the 4 agreements, you know. And then you're gonna open it up and go through the exercises, right?
Right.
And so the first one is, Jill, the first one is, what are you taking personally? So let's walk through this. Like, what are you taking personally, Jill, right now? Right? And so that's the coaching then around it.
Right. I love it.
And you've read so many books that you already know like which ones to go to, and you can just go to the library and pull it out and walk through it with them, and you're coaching them. And then some people will then watch that and say, hey, pick me. Like, I want to go tomorrow, or I want to go next week. How do I be the person that Andrea coaches? And then others will say, hey, I love that, but I don't want it to be on Instagram. Can I hire you? Like, how do I work with you? And so then if it's free, then it's public. If it's paid, then it's private.
Private.
Right? So either way, you're here to help. I'm happy to help you for free, but it's going to be public on Instagram so other people can learn from it too. And those could be YouTube videos as well, by the way, right? Like you just flip it and put that to YouTube. And all you have to do is show up. All you do is show up. It's like, hey, Jill, how can I help? Now, when I started doing this, I booked my first 5 for the week to do it with me. I did it in person, but like I did it on Instagram, but I had them sitting next to me. But you don't, I mean, I don't do that anymore. You don't have to do it that way. You've got 400 followers, 500 followers. Somebody in there is going to say yes.
Okay.
And then eventually it'll become that it's just people get used to you going live every day at noon, and you don't have to book them because people will show up and say, hey, pick me, pick me, pick me.
Yeah.
So whatever you want to make money doing, show me the process of you doing it. So if you want to make money as a coach, show me you coaching. And the more you start doing it through books and taking lessons from the 4 agreements or Built to Serve or, you know, the Bible or whatever you're pulling from, the more you'll start to develop your own methodology as well, and take mixes. Like, I like these first 2 agreements, and then I like this passage from the Bible, and I like this thing from Built to Serve, and I like, right? And it's this like mashup of what Andrea would suggest. And then you don't have to change your name. It's still the Booksters Club, and you can still do book reviews and lessons that you've learned as well, but you just add coaching to the mix.
But that's excellent. Absolutely. I will do that. 100%.
Okay, so Monday.
I was stuck there. Yeah, I was stuck there.
Monday. What time was the first show?
Monday, let's do 9 a.m.
Monday, 9 a.m. Where do you live? Are you East Coast?
Las Vegas. No, West Coast.
Vegas. Is that Pacific all the way west?
It is.
So
it is. We use Los Angeles this time.
Yeah, okay. But are you just on the edge? It's got to be just on the edge, right? Where does it?
Las Vegas is in Nevada. So
No, I know that, but like Nevada, you're close to Mountain, no?
Yeah.
Or Central? I don't know anyone.
No, Pacific, yeah.
No, I know you're Pacific, but aren't you like just on the border of being in another time zone?
We are. Colorado, Utah, all those states border us. So
okay.
Yeah, we're pretty close. But yeah, we're Pacific time.
So 9 a.m. Pacific, then you spend today DMing people. I do video DM to people who are following you. And there might be already people who you know who are like always loving in the comments and always part of your community. And you book your first 5 to say, hey, Monday is open, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, 9 a.m. Pacific, 12 a.m. or 12 p.m. Eastern. Whatever you're struggling with, I want to coach you to help. And I recommend books to go through.
Yeah, I can do that. Yeah,
I know you can do that. Yeah.
Yeah, of course, you're the king of believe, right? You know, I have to say that that's the thing that I absolutely appreciate about the book and then about seeing all of your videos is that you create this belief in me and in others because you actually have this, like, it's simple. It's not like fairy dust, but it's like plans. Like, oh, it's just, you just are unaware of step X, Y, and Z. It's super simple. And now I'm just like, why was that even a question?
Well, that's okay. I mean, now, you know, there's no point looking backwards to say all the things that you should have done a year earlier, right? It's like, well, what can I do right now to make it more important? So, yeah, I think the best thing you can do is just go book your guests for next week. Like today, you book your. Let me tell you this, okay? I came up with this idea when I was flying back from LA. I did this event. I did a 4-day event in LA, and I spent the whole day, every day, not even at the event, in the lobby, talking to entrepreneurs, helping them, coaching them, right? It was the best. I got super sick and didn't even notice, though, because I'd be up at 7 in the morning and I'd go to 2 in the morning. I'd eat once a day, not drink any water, just because I don't feel it. Because when I'm coaching and helping entrepreneurs, it's just such a high that I forget to do everything else, including self-care, right? So on a 4-day timeline of that happening, I was just totally dead, sick, fever, all of it. On my flight home, I said, man, that was awesome. I gotta do more of that. That's great. But I have to do it in a healthy way because I'm gonna kill myself. Like at 4 days, imagine doing this every day. So I'm gonna start a show on Instagram. I'm gonna do this on Instagram every day and have somebody come into my studio in Toronto and we're gonna do a show together and film it for Instagram. And every mile that I got closer to home, the fear started stepping in more, and my head started taking over to tell me why I couldn't do it. So that's why I booked. While I was on the plane, I started DMing people to say, I'm starting, like Monday, you're the guest. Tuesday, you're the guest. Join me. And I booked my first week up myself. Now my assistant does everything. But at the beginning, it was like me because it has to happen in this moment. When I got there on Monday, right? This was a Friday night. I was flying home. When I got there on Monday, and I woke up Monday morning, I went to my studio to do it. I didn't want to do it. I went from being 100% on the Friday night to being 0. Like it faded from Friday to Monday. It went to 0. Didn't want to do it at all. Thought it was a waste of time. What am I doing with this? I should be doing videos. I should be doing X, Y, Z. This is such a waste of time. I can't believe I said yes to this. Oh my God.
Then what happened?
Go to the studio, but like I committed to somebody. I'm not going to not show up for the person because I committed to them. I show up, we do our sessions, like, this is amazing. This is why I did it. Oh, of course. Right? Yeah. So that's why it's super important to make that commitment. My wife is closing the door on me because I'm being too noisy talking about this.
Sorry, Nina.
We love you, Nina. When you're in the zone, like that's what the best use of your time right after this is booking your first 5 because the energy will start to drop tomorrow, the next day. But then Monday shows up and you're going to be nervous and you're going to have limiting beliefs and feel like, who am I to help? What does this person even need help with? I don't know. Will I have the answers for them? What if I don't know what to say? What if I don't have a book recommendation for them? What if it's just a total, train wreck? Great. Well, you booked it. So let's go.
Let's just step into it. Okay.
And honestly, even just understanding that listening alone is value.
Okay.
Even if you can't help them, even if you don't know what to say, listening alone is value because they may not have told anybody in their life what they're telling you. If they're telling, I struggle with confidence, they may not have ever told anybody in their life that they're struggling with it. And if they have, they're probably getting judged for it. If you tell your friend that you're struggling with confidence, you tell your mom or dad you're struggling, they're going to have their own perspective and likely judgment. You can give them a space. You're basically creating a space for them to be themselves and listening alone. It's why people go to confessionals. Like listening alone is value.
Right.
whether you can, like, you already have an army of knowledge, right? You've done all the work, you know what to give them, but even if you can't, listen alone is value.
Right. Powerful.
Yeah.
Evan, you are the man. I appreciate you so much being on here and spending some time with me and sharing that information, because this was where I was stuck, and this is what you do. You help people get unstuck. And I didn't even talk about the book, but hey, we're having a good conversation. I'll talk to you guys about the book later. I'll be posting all kinds of videos. Evan.
Well, we live the book.
Remarkable.
That is the book. We just live the book
That
instead
is-
of talking about it. Monday, join Andrea for her new show.
That's right.
9 a.m.
Monday. I wonder who my first guest is going to be. Yeah. Thanks so much, Evan.
You got to pinky promise me you're going to DM people to set up your first 5. There you go. First 5.
It's happening as soon as we get off the phone. Pinky promise.
I love it. I love it.
Bow. Thanks so much,
Okay.
Evan.
Thank you.
Take
Much
care.
love.
Believe everybody. Bye, Evan. Wow, what a great guy. Evan Carmichael. I had a list of questions and the book. You know, we were going to go through the worksheet. All had to go away because the information that Evan Carmichael shared with me was so valuable. I hope that it resonates with all of you. Sorry, I'm tongue-tied. This was absolutely incredible. I hope that you gained something from this. I know I did. I know that, you know, some of the things that I may have been struggling with, maybe you guys were struggling with too. Okay, here we go. Here's how you win your own copy of Built to Serve. You guys got to read this book. This book is not a book you read. This is a book you do. When you do this book, you will be a different person on the other side. So this is how you win a copy, a signed copy of Built to Serve by Evan Carmichael. After this video is posted, go into the comments. This is what I want. I want the person that gets this book to actually be ready for this book. I called this book into my existence from the universe. I was ready for the next step. I really wanted the next step, but I was confused. I didn't know what that looked like. And this book came in and it gave me so much direction. And then bam, I'm talking with Evan Carmichael and I have even more direction. That's exactly what I want for someone that's going to win this book. I want it to go into the hands of someone who really needs this book. So in the comment section after I post this video, go down in the comments and leave a story. Share your story. I don't care if the story is about struggle or success, or if your struggle is about failure. Just leave your story. And then when you're done leaving your story, go back and like as many, you know, stories as you want, but at least like one of them. And so whoever gets the most likes for their story is the person that's going to win the book. Now, so you're going to win the book. You're also going to win the worksheet that it comes with. So like I said, you do this book, you don't read this book. So you're going to do the worksheet. And then that person's going to be back on Ask a Bookster live with me. We're going to go through the worksheet. We're going to try to figure out some areas that maybe you may be stuck with. We're going to leave it up to the community too, where they can chime in. Other people who have also read this amazing book are going to be able to help you get unstuck. So that you can actually live your purpose. Your who, your why, and your how are exactly what this book is all about. So you're going to find out who you are. You're going to figure out your why, what's going to give you purpose, the pain that you went through, and then your how, exactly how you're going to take that and create a living out of living your purpose by finding out who you are. So that is the details of the contest. Thank you so much for watching. Good luck to everyone. I will be announcing who the winner is next Thursday during the live session. We're going to be meeting with Brian, who's also a YouTuber. So I'm going to be announcing that. So you have up until now, all the way until next Thursday to get those comments in, those stories in, and then like your favorite one. Good luck to everyone. Thank you for watching. I hope you guys liked it. I'm like floating on cloud 9 right now. I'm so excited. Next time, I'll see you guys next time. Bye.